Hi, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be responding and I'm going to be giving my take to the interview that happened on ENCA News. It was Pieter Groenewalt and going up against Mr. Mzandile Mbeje about the upcoming elections and what the Freedom Front Plus are planning to do. Now, I just want to say this. Meneer Pieter Groenewald was absolutely on point, spot on, with his responses to the questions Mzandile Mbeje was asking. Let me say this. The way Mzandile Mbeje was asking Mr. Groenewald those questions, it was such, half of them, it was such typical slave-minded Negro questions pertaining to the apartheid regime. He asked them. He sort of gave like a pause, like, do you think do you condemn apartheid and as an inhumane act towards humanity and black people? And I'm like, duh, of course he condemns it. This is the thing about black people. Black people don't understand how the world works. Black people most certainly do not understand politics. Black people treat politics, they don't look at the policies. Here, make no mistake about it. When black people deal with politics, they're not looking at the policies, i.e., what politics is about. They're not focusing on the policies, they are focusing on symbolism and the feelings. Right? So, in other words, black people, you should have seen Mzandile Mbeje's look on his face when he asked Pieter Groenewald that question. Do you condemn apartheid as an inhumane act against humanity? I'm like, of course it does. You see, he asked that question. I immediately was like, that was such a cliche question coming from a person of color. Because, really and for truly, black people don't care about politics. They just simply want white people to bow down on their knees and say, black people of the world, we're sorry for apartheid and we are so wrong. It's not you, it's us. We are so evil. We're evil white supremacists. And we're sorry. That's what black people want. Now, don't get me wrong. The white people that should do that are the people that drew up the apartheid regime, those laws. But black folks, understand this. Those evil white people that drew up the apartheid regime, most of them are gone. You can't take your traumas out and frustrations out on the white people of today because they didn't draw up the apartheid regime. In fact, I heard a lot of them they never even supported apartheid to begin with. Of course, they realized that it was an inhumane act towards black people. Of course. But the thing is, simply looking at the comments. I saw the comments on the live chat. Black people talking about this Mr. Groenewald is so irritating, and what did he say that was irritating? You see, really and for truly, black folks are not even listening to what he's actually saying. Black folks see a white man and they're angry. Full stop. That's it. That's all black folks see. Black folks see a white man who they think and who they assume is a racist. Now, don't get me wrong. Now listen. Don't get me wrong. I don't care about Pieter Groenewalt's personal affiliations with regards to racism or how he feels about black folks, whether he likes black folks or he doesn't like black folks. I don't care. You know why? Because it doesn't matter. We're dealing with politics and policies that are going to be put in place should his party win the local municipal elections. I don't care what flavor ice cream he likes. I don't care what or whether he likes black people or not. Listen, black folks, when you go to Pick and Pay and you go buy a milk and a loaf of bread, do you care about what the cashier thinks of you personally? Do you care whether the lady at the who's the cashier at the till, do you care whether or not she likes you personally? No. You just need her to do a job and just to scan the your items, your food items, and to give you the bill. You pay her, scan the items so that you can pay her, and then you can be on your way. Now, why is it when it comes to politics, black folks don't think the same way? Black folks are focused on a political candidate's personal feelings towards black folks. Oh, does he like black folks? Oh, he doesn't like black folks. Oh, he's racist. I'm not gonna vote for him. But his policies, what he's saying, his implementations make logical sense. The reason why I'm doing this video is specifically for black folks to learn from. Because Mzandile Mbeje was asking all sorts of questions that to me were very much expected. And guess what? Mr. Pieter Groenewalt answered all of them correctly. 10 out of 10. Like, pow, knockout, KO. KO'd Mzandile Mbeje on the canvas. Pieter Groenewalt completely knocked his questions out. Knocked it out of the ballpark. You answered them so well. I want to address the big elephant in the room. I want to address the obvious elephant in the room. Because I know it's coming. But before I say that, I just quickly want to pat myself on the back. Because I did a video months ago. I was saying to white people, stop being so afraid and say the things that needs to be said in public, in the mainstream media. I'll put a link to that video in the description below, and you can see it on the screen right now. Mr. Pieter Groenewalt said, we are going to do away with affirmative action and BEE. At that point I was like, facts. I was like, thank you. Because I've been rambling about the very same thing on my Facebook. BEE has been a crutch, an excuse, a stepping stone for corruption in SA, in South Africa. Because Mr. Groenewalt said, we don't want to create a new disadvantaged past, we want to create a better future. Because BEE and affirmative action has been an excuse to employ people who are not qualified based on merit to get in certain positions of power to commit criminal acts and fraud and corruption, instead of employing people not based on the color of their skin but based strictly on their merit. And that's not what's been happening in South Africa. And he said, stop the decay. This is the decay he's been talking about. The corruption. Thanks to BEE and transformation and quotas and affirmative action. It's been an excuse for incompetent people to get into positions of power so they can do money laundering and all sorts of corruption and fraud. Right? Listen, here's my stance on BEE and affirmative action. Immediately after democracy was established, BEE was handled poorly, and today it should be abolished. Here's why. I've already explained why, but here's my take on it, how it should have been implemented. BEE should have been, it should have had like a time constraint, maximum, with a maximum period of 10 years. So in other words, within 10 years, people should have been up to scratch. So in other words, immediately after democracy, after 1994, they should have said, okay, we're gonna give you a time period, a window, for everyone to get on their to get on their feet. And after 10 years, everyone should be on their feet. In fact, 10 years, some might say 10 years is too much. I think it's just right. 10 years is just the perfect amount of time for everyone to get, for everyone to catch up. But of course, BEE and quotas and affirmative action is still being dragged on 2 decades later, and it's still ongoing. And what is it shown? The economy is sliding backwards. Now, I'd like to address the huge elephant in the room. There's gonna be a lot of black people watching this video, and I can already hear them. I can already see the comments now, calling me an Uncle Tom and Uncle Ruckus. How dare I? I'm a black person. You should be supporting a white man, a racist white man. First of all, here's my response. How do you know he's racist? How do you know Mr. Pieter Groenewalt is racist? And does it matter? Again, coming back to the whole Pick n Pay thingy. Do you care about whether your cashier likes you or not? Do you care what they ate for breakfast? Do you care about their preferences when it comes to ice cream flavors? No. So why, when it comes to politics, you are so hell-bent on a person's personal affiliations that that's the only thing you focus on? Why do you care? It doesn't matter. I personally don't care about Pieter Groenewalt's personal affiliations with whether or not he likes black people or not. I don't care, because it doesn't matter. The man was speaking facts on TV. That interview is still ongoing. It just ended right now. But I only watched half of it. And already I was sold. Already I was like amazed. I was clapping hands for Pieter Groenewalt. That guy was that man was outstanding. His responses, he was absolutely outstanding. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because this is a learning curve for black folks to stop focusing on things that don't matter and start listening to what a political candidate is saying, regardless of his race. Because black folks, they only look at, yeah, he's a white man and he's racist. This is why I say black folks don't understand the world. They don't understand politics. And I don't think they ever will. I don't think they ever will. But of course, there's going to be black folks coming at me, talking about, you're a coon, you're a sellout, how could you... Listen, I don't care about Mr. Groenewald's personal affiliations. I'm looking at his policies. Now, is that to say, am I going to vote for him or not? Quite frankly, that's none of your business. I already know the party I'm going to vote for. In fact, it's a matter... It's a... Actually, no. Actually... Now, you know what? Let me just say it out loud. Yeah, just... This one is for black folks, right? I am going to be voting for the DA. You know why? because they're the best option to dethrone the ANC out of power, strictly based on numbers and support. The other political parties, I don't think they have the numbers. The DA has the numbers, it has the support. You see, there are two powerhouses in terms of SA politics. Two major power rivals. There's the ANC, that's busy destroying the country, and black folks are stupidly voting for over and over again, of which they themselves don't even know why they're voting for the ANC. They're just going off of, it's a black party, and the white man racist. Stupid. And the other party is the Democratic Alliance. Strictly based on numbers, I'm voting for the Democratic Alliance. Because the other parties don't have the gravitas and the manpower and the numbers. So, do you hear me, black folks? I'm not voting for the DA because I'm bootlicking the white man's boots and I'm sucking up and I'm Uncle Ruckus. Did I mention anything about the DA being a white man's power? And I just stated that I am voting for DA strictly because they're the best opposition. They have the best chance of kicking the ANC out of power, strictly based on numbers and support. But black folks, why do you vote ANC? Why do you stupidly vote ANC? You yourselves don't even know. You can't even give me an answer. You know why? Because the majority of you black folks are stupid. You're dumb. Dumb as dirt. But anyway, if you've made it this far to the video, thanks for listening. And I'm not saying I support the Freedom Front. I'm not saying. I'm just doing this video strictly as a learning curve for black folks to learn how to listen and focus on what a political candidate is saying. Looking at their policies, focus on their policies, not the color of their skin. You know, it's funny. Black folks cry so much about racism, but they themselves are racists. They're focusing on, oh, that's a white man's party. He must be racist. That's black folks themselves being racist. The hypocrisy has got to stop, black people. Your hypocrisy has got to stop. Now, I was gonna say think for yourselves, but quite frankly, I don't think you ever will, because you just can't help it. Thanks for listening, though.